Excuse me. Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe. This is the New World Podcast, brother. It's been a long week. Still recovering from the concert, man. I'm not young and spry like I used to be. I used to go to concerts and jam out, rock out, and get up just fine. Now I wake up, I'm like creaking and cracking, and I'm like, oh my gosh. My voice is still recovering. My left ear is still like, so. And last night while watching Monday Night Raw, that's what we're going to talk about today, October 9th, 2023. With Michael Cole and Wade Barrett's on commentary. But I was sitting here and I'm always paying attention and taking my notes, but I was chilling, like deep in my chair, like tired, but still paying attention. And I was like, you all right? I'm like, man, I was like, I'm still recovering from I'm recovering from being sick, which kicked my ass for like 2 to 3 days, like tops. And I'm still recovering from this concert. So like everything was back to back. So I'm out. And she was like, damn. She goes, I didn't go to concerts a lot, but I went to concerts, man. I rocked out, man. And what's funny is like when I was at the concert, I'll get into the wrestling. Sorry, I just had to sidetrack, man. Everyone knows about my foot. If you're new here, what's up? Welcome. This is a Paper Saber universe. My name's KMB, the Sexy Ninja. I have a few projects on here. The Sexy Ninja Cast is a podcast about everything about me and all my loves and interests. And there are also some video vlogs that I do that I'm going to start doing here. The New World Podcast is specifically focused on wrestling. I've been podcasting for almost way over 5 years now. There's so many projects we've done. They're all in our playlist. You can check it out. I do music. I do it all, baby. I do it all. So, I broke, I think it was my third toe is broken. That's what I broke. And I'm still recovering. I have days where it swells up, it doesn't swell up and whatnot. But going to the concert, though, when I got almost pushed to the pit, I was so fucking scared. I was like, I was trying for no one to step on my foot. Like, it was wrapped, had a brace on it, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm good. I was like, the next day I'm not going to be able to walk. But thankfully, all I got is a bad back, and my arms are sore, and I got no voice. So, all in all fucking honesty, I'll take that over a swole foot, because that shit sucks, Now we're going into Monday Night Raw. We open it with Seth freaking Rollins and his beautiful wife, the man. He's got a book coming out, announced, and everything like that. So that's pretty dope. I can't wait to read that. I love when wrestlers write books. You get the details. I did the Drew McIntyre one. That was really good. I'm looking at my Terry Funk one that I want to reread too, and everything like that. So Seth Rollins comes out. He beat Shinsuke Nakamura, and he's still our world heavyweight champion. And Drew comes out. And what's awesome about this was it definitely was blunt. They're going to face each other at Crown Jewel. And Drew's like, and I like what Seth did. Seth did something so cool here. He was like, wait. You're telling me that you're not going to attack me. You're telling me you're not doing this. So you're telling me straight up, you want a match for the World Heavyweight Championship. And he goes, yeah. Wow, this is kind of new to me. I was like, Seth at his finest. And Drew's just like, he's here for a fight. He goes, but he can still party. So at Crown Jewel, we'll get Drew McIntyre versus Seth freaking Rollins. It's in November, before Survivor Series. So we already got one match, and that's 3 weeks away. Crazy. But as this happens, and as Drew's walking out, Damian attacks, and he starts beating up Seth. Then he calls out Dom. Dom's running with the briefcase and a referee. And Drew's doing that thing where he looks back and he sees somebody getting beat up, and he doesn't do anything. But as Dom's walking out, he puts his hand out and stops Dom and grabs the briefcase, hits Dom, then throws the briefcase. He's like, fuck that. No. I'm going to have my match, and I ain't going to let y'all Judgment Day interfere here. The New Day are backstage. They got to get ready because the first match of the night is Kofi Kingston's got a match against Ivar in a Viking rules match. And Ivar won. Valhalla attacks. Xavier's there. Xavier got squashed like a bug. This was a good match. I like it in a tag team form. I don't really like this sort of match in one-on-one. When they've had these Viking rules matches before, I think it's best suited in tag team format than actually singles competition. That's just me. It was a fun match, though. And Ivar won, but it's just like, are we going to continue this? Are we going to continue this feud? Because usually the Viking rules match is usually the blow-off. We had several of these blow-offs between New Day and the Viking Raiders, and that was in singles competition. So, or at least now 2-on-1, we got Xavier and we got Kofi, taking on Ivar because Eric's hurt. So, overall, though, fun way to start the night with the match. Byron's backstage with Shinsuke, and he's like, hey, you lost, blah, blah, blah. And Shinsuke is doing this thing. And it was really cool is that Triple H said something pretty cool. He's like, this is the Shinsuke we should have seen from what Triple H said. This is the Shinsuke he's wanted for a long time. And it's pretty dope. And while he's backstage doing this interview with Byron, Ricochet attacks him. A little bit of a fight. Then we have Damian just straight up choking JD McDonough. And Mommy comes and she's like, hey, knock it off. I got you a rematch next week for those undisputed tag team titles you lost, so knock it off. Then she looks at JD McDonough and she tells him, like, you need to prove to us you want to be here with the Judgment Day, so you need to take out Drew McIntyre. And as much as I really like the dynamic of Mommy, I don't like what they're doing with JD McDonough. JD McDonough was a killer. This man was like no fear, no fucks. And this, like, I didn't really get this until we got to his match with Drew. Like, this weird, like, puppy dog, tail between his legs. And then I'm thinking of old JD McDonough. I'm like, no, this isn't the JD McDonough that I love. The JD McDonough I love is just a ruthless, aggressive, fucking killer. Like, not this, I want to be part of the Judgment Day, At first it was funny, but then I didn't realize until tonight. And tonight, there's a lot going on. Raquel Rodriguez versus Nia Jax. Okay for the most part. Rhea comes out, makes it the best part. Attacks Nia Jax. Shayna Baszler comes out. And then she attacks Rhea. Well, they get face to face, and Rhea's like, get out of my ring and everything like that. Shayna Baszler's like, but then Nia Jax walks off. So this sets up later on that they're going to have a match next week between Rhea Ripley and Shayna Baszler. And I'm like, sold. I want to see these two go for it. Drew and Seth backstage, and Seth telling him, like, hey, I don't need no this or that, blah, blah, but come Crown Jewel, you're going to fight, blah, blah, and you ain't going to beat me, pretty much. In a nutshell, Shayna's backstage, she got the interview, and she says, hey, I'm the baddest woman in that ring. That's my ring, my ring, my ring, my ring. And Rhea, she's got to understand that. I was like, ooh, shots fired across the bow. Papoosh. Now we have the big Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes with Michael Cole in-ring interview, talking. And Michael Cole, Jesus Christ, man. Like, in form of celebration between these two winning these tag team titles, Michael Cole's hitting Cody with some hard questions, like hard with that hard H. You know what I'm saying? Like, just that hard H, And he's just like, hey, man, you won the tag team titles. We watched your story, blah, blah. And you came this close to, just like your dad. So is that going to be it? Are we done now? Is the story told? I was just like, well, not the story's told, but the story, we're trying to finish the story. And I was just like, damn, Michael, just straight up ruthless. I was like, man, this man just coming for the jugular on this. And Cody says this stuff, but it was funny. It's in a moment of celebration. It was a moment of like Michael Cole bringing truth. And it's just like last week when he got with Seth, and he's bringing that hard truth to Seth. I was like, we need to have more of these moments of Michael Cole in the ring with with these guys, because he kind of throws them off too. Because Cody's like, "Whoa, hey Michael, calm down, hit $100 bill, chill." But as they're there, Kevin and Sammy interrupt. They get in the ring and they play Sammy's heel music, which was funny. And because it's like, whoa, and dun, 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 and even Sammy made a comment, like, wow, I haven't heard that song in a while. But basically setting up our main event for the night. Sami Zayn and Kevin are going to get a Undisputed Tag Team Championship match. And yeah, this sets up our big main event for the night. And I was just like, okay, let's go then. Let's go. But I want to see something different with Sammy now. I want to see something different with Kevin. This tag team stuff was great. We got a WrestleMania moment. We got a great championship run. They had a bunch of shots to get those titles back. But now I think I want to see Kevin slowly get back into the singles game along with Sammy. Start moving themselves up there and kind of just move away from the tag team stuff for a bit. That's just me personally. Alpha Academy's backstage. Chad's getting chopped by Otis, and he's like, again. And they get interrupted by Bronson Reed because there's a big number one contenderships match for the Intercontinental Championship tonight. And Chad is just getting chopped. And after Bronson Reed leaves, he's like, chop me again. And Otis is like, ah. He's like, yeah. Yeah. I don't know why. Like, the best part about this is, like, it's a zoom on his chest. His big, sweaty, meaty Chad chest. And it zooms out, and he's just getting chopped. Good stuff, man. But we have Ricochet versus Bronson Reed versus Chad Gable. And as Ricochet is coming out, Shinsuke Nakamura attacks him. They got beef. But next week, though, they got a match. They got a match next week. And Ricochet and Chad lost to Bronson Reed. And then at first I was a little pissed. I was like, fuck, I wanted Chad Gable to win. But then I was like, Bronson Reed versus Gunther. How's that? I'm curious. My pro wrestling love is curious on how that match is going to play out. And hopefully Gunther retains, but I was like, okay, Bronson Reed versus Gunther, the ring general. I was like, all right, check please. Yes. Man's backstage. She's got an interview. She has a big NXT Championship match tonight against Tegan Knox. I'll talk about it in a bit after we get to that match. She's got a book and everything like that. Drew McIntyre versus JD McDonough. JD McDonough looking like I said, that dog with his tail between his legs. And this is where I really was just like, yeah, this is not the JD McDonough I love. This is a JD McDonough that's scared, and he looks at Drew and he's terrified. And the JD McDonough I remember, he would get in face to face with Drew, size or not, and fight. But Drew for the win, even though Dom tried to come out and help. And oh yeah, that was another thing with the Becky backstage when she talks about her match with Xia Li. Before Becky talked about her match with Tegan Knox, Xia Li out of fucking nowhere. And what about my opportunity or something like that? I'm like, whoa, hold on. Like Tegan Knox, you just came out of the woodwork. Where have you been? I don't watch main events. I don't watch, all the level ups or anything like that. So she's been wrestling on there. I apologize. It's like AEW Dark, AEW Dark Elevation, AEW Dark, all this other weird, shows that are underneath that. Or like WWE and everything like that. Superstars. I don't know if they have superstars anymore. Do they? 360, is that still a thing? I don't think it is. But she just walked right up. She's like, hey, what about me? And I'm like, the fuck about you? That was like my first thought. I was like, what the fuck about you? And, you know, Becky's was like, yeah, well, you know where to find me. Rhea and Damien's watching on, though, after Drew McIntyre beats JD McDonough. Rhea's like, yo, I got a plan. Let me go take care of it. Damien's like, all right. Wade Barrett's with Ciampa and Gargano. DIY is back, basically, what I've got from this interview. But they get attacked. They get attacked by Imperium. They get laid out in this locker room. Very red locker room. But so we're building DIY versus Imperium. I'm down. I'm down. Hopefully we get some stipulations to the matches too. Tegan Knox package. You know, and then she has an interview before her match. Natalya with this whole, hey girl, you know, you're gonna do good out there. Hug, you know, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? Out of nowhere, you went from being a bitch to being like, hey. I'm like, what? I don't understand. I just don't understand. And I like Natalya. So, then we have Ricochet backstage. He's looking for Shinsuke. And Adam's like, yeah. I got it figured out. It's going to be you and Shinsuke next week. Falls count anywhere. And Ricochet's like, okay, let's do it then. NXT Women's Championship match, Becky Lynch versus Tegan Knox. Becky Lynch for the win. I just don't understand this, like this whole Tegan Knox thing. Like, I like her. I think she's cool. It sucks she tore her ACL twice and all that, like, you know, in the starting of her run. But I don't see it. You know, and I'm trying to think of who on the roster, NXT roster in general, who's going to take down Becky Lynch and win that championship. I sure as hell thought it was going to be Tiffany. Should have been Tiffany, in my opinion. Like, it should have been like Becky beats her, she loses the rematch, then Tiffany, in that great performance of a fucking Extreme Rules match, should have won it back and remained top dog. No, we got Becky, you know, and we got this match. And this match was just meh at best. And we have Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell backstage. They're checking on, on Gargano and Ciampa. And once again, two cool talents that are just background. And a little frustrating right there, especially with Indy. She went from like having a number one contenders match, then going back to the background. I'm like, oh my God, we need to do something with them. Like, Indy Hartwell's ready to go. Like, you know, and when Rhea comes in, she interrupts, and I thought her and Indy were going to get in each other's face. I was like, no, we're not really going to have that. And Tegan Knox backstage, she's crying in her Cheerios, and with Natalya and everyone else, and Chelsea comes. She's like, oh, this is a pity party. And this is my favorite, like, Natalya, she's like, tells Natalya, like, hey, get out of my face, and Natalya's like, get out of my face, or what? And Chelsea's like, oh, well, out. Hey, girl, Piper. Oh, and Piper's like, oh, yeah. Get out of my face or you deal with me. And Chelsea's like, yeah, see? And Chelsea's comedic timing is great. I did like this backstage segment, but Natalya, we're going to see Natalya versus Piper, and this could be awesome. I think so, because I like Piper Niven. We got Jay backstage of Drew. You know, Drew still doesn't like Jay. No one likes Jay. Kevin don't like Jay. No one, you know. So, but it doesn't matter because something awesome happens at the end of this match with the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. What a hell of a main event. I mean, my favorite match of the night. All the other matches have been kind of okay, stale on the most part. There was so much to unpack on this Monday Night Raw. You know, it's a lot. Like, it actually almost filled up 2 pages. Like, not even 2 pages, a page and a half. I'm being over dramatic, but of my note taking and stuff like that. But there was a lot to go and set up the main event. You know, usually we set up the main event in the starting of the show. But we got some great stuff out of this. I honestly give this Raw, honestly, in my opinion, I would say my match of the night is the Undisputed Tag Team Championship match, because these 2 tag teams just went to town. I give it a solid 3 out of 5 for this Monday Night Raw. Great, but not great. Just a lot. You know, and hopefully that's not just because I was tired or anything like that. So, but that's it. That's it. That's all. Tell me what you thought of the show. Drop those comments below. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe. Share it with your grandma. Share it with your grandpa. Share it with the bum down at Walmart. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com/New World Podcast. Get yourself that sweet nWp logo. I want to see it in the crowds. More designs are coming. I've been slacking on my end. So if you're not a fan of the New World Podcast, we're going to get the Sexy Ninja Cast logo up there, and also some other designs I've been holding on to. We're revving it up here. And when I say we, I mean me, myself, and I is revving it up here. I got some really cool ideas. I took we went to the 3-Head Monster Tour. I documented all that. And I'm going to get back into music reviews and movie reviews, you know. So this channel's going to get lit up, if you will. You know, follow me on TikTok. Follow me on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. Instagram. I'm on Snapchat. I'm on Facebook. That's the ancient one. You know, I'm anywhere and everywhere. Also on Twitch. Twitch I need to start like revving up as well. But let's focus on the YouTube channel. And on the YouTube channel exclusively is going to be the Sexy Ninja Cast vlogs. You know, the vlogs and reviews and all that. That's going to be exclusively on YouTube. And I do have the podcast though that will go out, you know, and out there into the world. So, all right, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this edition of the New World Podcast, brother. I believe it's season 4, episode 345. Yeah, damn. Almost to 400, baby. Almost to 400. All right. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, man. Tell everyone about Paper Saber Universe. Tell everyone about K&B the Sexy Ninja. It's going to be going crazy here on the channel. I'm excited. I'm ready. I hope you are too. Tell me what you thought of Monday Night Raw. Drop those comments below. All right. And remember, the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
And look at who's here. She said she had some business to take care of. The Women's World Champion.